Good morning, everyone. So this session is data analytics course. So first we will discuss what content we are going to discuss in this data analytics course, and then is as a part of this demo session, I'm just going to discuss a demo on Power BI. Okay. So in this data analytics course, we are going to cover SQL, Advanced Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and basic Python. We are going to cover these codes in this data analytics course. So for data storing, so generally when we go for SQL means SQL, or I can say Excel. So let's say we use Excel for data storing, data retrieving, or if you want to perform some analysis, we can go for Excel, right? Connect here, data storing, data retrieving, and perform analysis, we can go for Excel, right? So in Excel, we will try to understand um, how to use formulas. So we'll try to discuss some basic stuff to basic to advanced. We'll try to understand formatting, uh, functions in SQL, options like if I want to create a report in Excel, how to create. We will discuss pivot table, conditional formatting, logical functions, text functions, date and time functions, all these things in Excel, right? And yes, in general, we will get data when you're working on a project. We get the data in Excel files. Sometimes we may have to format data in Excel itself. So we will try to understand how to format the data and how to use formulas in Excel. And next we will try to see how SQL will work, how to use the SQL, how to create how to store the data, or how to create a database in SQL Server. And then we will see how to write SQL queries, how to retrieve the data by writing the queries. So we'll try to understand how to creating database, writing SQL queries, how to combine one table with another by using joins. We'll see again functions in SQL. Right? We will try to understand some advanced concepts in SQL. Right? And then we'll try to so here Power BI and a Tableau. So these two are called as a BI tool, business intelligence softwares. Uh, why generally we use Power BI or Tableau? So any business, if they want to understand how business is performing, whether it is in positive direction or negative direction, they want to analyze the business data. So in that case, we can go for Power BI or Tableau, right? So we use Power BI or Tableau to analyze the business data. So if we want to analyze the business data, we can go for Power BI or Tableau. So we'll try to understand in Power BI. So we have different options like how to clean the data, transform the data, I can say, transform the data. Then we have option called model the data. Modeling we call as a modeling, data modeling basically. Creating reports, creating visuals or reports, and we try to understand how to share the reports with clients. So these things we will discuss in Power BI. So we'll try to understand some um, how our business data will be stored. So once my business data is stored, now we wanted to analyze the business data. So what are the steps that we need to follow to analyze the business data? How to model the data. When we say modeling, I'll discuss what is meant by modeling. So modeling is nothing but you are connecting or creating a relationship between tables we call as a modeling. And we also try to understand how to implement the business logic. So if I have some business, so I wanted to implement some logic, so then we use DAX functions in Power BI. So how to use those DAX functions, and then we'll try to understand how to you create visuals or how to create a reports, right? And then at the end we will share the report with our clients. So then how to share the report with clients, right? So same scenario with even with Tableau. Even Tableau is also will do the Tableau is also a Power BI tool for business intelligence application. Even Power Tableau also will try to understand the how to clean the data, transforming the data, how to modeling the data, how to create the visuals, and how to share the report with clients. But if you know one application, I mean, but the way that we implementation is a little bit different in both the tools. So we'll try to understand what are those differences and how we can achieve if any data is there. I want to understand, the business wanted to understand how the business is performing. So in that case, we can either we can use Power BI or Tableau. It's like purely depending on the company requirement. If they are using Power BI, yes, then definitely we can go with an Power BI based on the company requirement, whether what type of application they are using. And then in Python, we'll try to understand how how to write a Python script. Python script. We will see functions in Python. We'll try to understand the loops. So we have two condition. We have loop called for loop is available in Python. So how loop will work? How to write a loop in Python? We'll try to understand if function, and then we'll see how to perform row transformations and column transformations. We'll try to understand these things, and we'll try to understand how to perform data analysis using Python. Fine. So we will try to understand a complete, data related stuff. How can we do if I wanted to read some Excel file into Python? So how to read if I wanted to read some CSV file from a location, then how to read? Or I have all the files in a particular folder. So I want to combine all the files and then I want to generate one output. So then how to perform these type of things? We will try to understand using Python, right? So overall in this course, we are going to cover these five tools. Okay. So as a demo session, I'm just going to discuss Power BI. So we'll try to understand what is Power BI, Power BI architecture, and then we will see what are the different type of tools available in Power BI. Right. So generally, if you look at here, Power BI. So Power BI is a collection of tools or softwares provided by Microsoft Corporation for performing business intelligence activities. So generally, Power BI is a Microsoft product, and it is a we use Power BI for performing business intelligence activities. So to perform any BI activities, so we can go for Power BI. So what is meant by business intelligence? Okay, let me show you first. Let's say if I have a raw data. So I have a raw data in the form of rows and columns. Let's say I have a data in the form of rows and columns, which contains somewhere around 9,994 rows are there, and I have somewhere 21 columns are there. Fine. So if I share this data with my client, so he may not able to understand what is happening in the business. But if I convert the same data, if I convert the same data in the form of visuals, let's say in the form of visuals. So earlier my data was in rows and columns. Same data we converted in the form of visuals. So by seeing these visuals, my client, or I can say user, can easily understand. Now, for example, in this case, I can see year on year my sales are increasing. Year on year my sales are increasing. So I can say that okay, my year on year my business is improving. Right. So like this, I mean, when we convert this rows and column information in the form of visuals, and getting some insights on the data, I mean, getting some information on the data, our business can take a decisions by seeing these reports. Then that process we call as a business intelligence. That process we call as a business intelligence. Right. Okay, let me write here. So, and if I ask Power BI in the market, so everyone have its own definitions. Like you can say here, Power BI. Basically, Power BI is a self-serviced. I'll talk about what is meant by self-serviced and cloud-based. Cloud-based. Um, Few will call this as a reporting software, or we will call as it's a data analytics software, or we will call as a data visualization software, or it also called as a business intelligence software, right? Business software. So generally, who will use this software? Power BI software, right? You can take any business, you can take any company, or I can say I'll just take any company if those who are doing some business. Let's say in case, let's say Canada, Amazon. It's a e-commerce company. Is basically what we will do in Amazon. We will place some order, and we get the requested order from Amazon, right? So it's doing some business. It's doing some business, e-commerce business. And what Amazon will get? Amazon will get here order ID, and then customer name, who placed the order, from which city they are getting the order, city, state, and which product customer is placed, what is the sales amount, is there any offer or discount applied, how much profit they have earned from the order, right? So they will get all this information. They are going to get some business data. At the end of the day, Amazon will get some business data, right? Some business data. And now they want to understand, um, what are the top products, or what are the top products which customers are frequently ordering, or they want to understand products which are not getting ordered from last 1 year, or they want to understand a particular product, when they are delivered, it's getting returned frequently. Fine. So they want to understand this type of things. They want to see what are my top products which customers are frequently ordering. or what are the products which we are getting returned every day, or frequently we are getting the returns, or they want to understand what are my bottom products where I'm not getting any orders. Fine. So they want to analyze the business data. So to analyze the business data, so in that case we can use Power BI. We can use Power BI. Right? We can use Power BI to analyze the business data. So how can we analyze the business data? Means by creating reports or visuals, like this type of reports or visuals. We can creating this visual. By creating reports or visuals, we will analyze the business data. Now, to analyze the business data, only Power BI is in the market. No, right? We also have some other BI tools in the market. Uh, so then, what is the difference between Power BI and other BI tools? Okay. To analyze the business data, so we have Power BI, a Tableau, MS BI, ClickView, OBIEE. So we have couple of tools in the market, right? So then what is the difference between OBA and I can say rest of the tools? So we can say that all the above softwares are categorized into traditional software and self-service self-service software, or we can say all the above softwares are categorized into on-premise on-premise software and cloud-based software. So these softwares are divided into traditional software and self-service software. So what is the difference between these two? So if I say traditional software, like in example of if I take MSBI or let's say SAP BO, these type of applications, softwares. So if you go with traditional software, the first thing is coding is mandatory. When I say coding, what type of coding means? SQL code. SQL is compulsory. If you want to implement a small logic, let's say if I have two columns, sales and discount. So if I want to apply sales minus discount, a small calculation sales minus discount, even though we have to write SQL code. So if you want to implement a business logic, it is complex to implement the business logic because every time we have to write SQL code. And if we after creating a report or visuals using this traditional software, so we have to share with our clients. So to maintain these reports, the created reports, to maintain these reports, the report cost is very high in case of traditional software. So why it is high? Report cost is high. So why it is high means um, so once we create a report using created by traditional software, so generally what we do, we will we will place this report in server. We will place this report in server. And from here, client will access the report. So when we say server, who will maintain the server? So the server is available within the company. It's called as a on-premise server, which is available within the company. Then something where it's called as a on-premise software or on-premise server. So server is available within the company. Then we need some admin team to maintain this server. So when we say admin team, company has to pay salaries to them. At least if we need 2 to 3 people, those who are working on this server, or I can say maintaining of the server. So that's why the report cost is very high in case of traditional software. Right. Coming to self-service software. When you say self-service software, so in self-service software, first thing is coding is not mandatory. Not mandatory. So there is an option, if you want to write, you can write SQL code, but it is not compulsory. Right? And easy to implement business logic. Why it is easy to implement business logic means, like in Power BI, or I can say Tableau as well. So we have functions, like how we have functions in Excel, similar type of functions available in Power BI, or I can say Tableau. So with the help of those functions, we can easily achieve our required business logic. So it is easy to implement the business logic. And third one is report cost is low. Why it is low means, in Power BI, if I create some report, we are going to publish the report in cloud. We are going to place the report in cloud, nothing but we call as a Power BI services. Fine. So from here, my client will access the report. So when we say cloud, who will maintain this cloud? So it is directly maintained by Microsoft. It's directly maintained by Microsoft. So it means that we don't need to have a separate admin. It is directly taken care by Microsoft. Right? So that's why the report maintenance cost is low. And it's like here coding is not required. I mean, we can easily achieve. We can easily achieve with the help of drag and drop, point and click. I can write here. So self-service is nothing but with the help of any software. If we are able to complete the work with drag and drop, point and click, point and click, we call as self-service software. Okay, so here we just need to identify what information we have to show in the report, and we can just place that columns in the visual, so we can create a required output, right? And as I mentioned here, Power BI is also called as a reporting software. What is meant by reporting? Reporting is nothing but presenting the data in a structured format. We call as a reporting. So if you want to create some table, let's say here in my data, so I have city column, city. So in my data, I have city information. So from where the order was placed, or which city order was placed, we have city, and then we have sales, right? So I want to create a report where I want to show each city wise sales. I want to show a report. I want to create a report city wise sales. I want to show city wise sales. So then, yes, we can easily achieve this type of report by using by create this type of a report we can create easily by using Power BI. And it's also called as a data visualization software. Okay, let's go to data visualization. So data visualization is nothing but when we are presenting the data in a graphical format. We call as data visualization. So like here we have data in rows and columns, but same data we can show in the form of visuals. Like I want to create line chat. Yes, we can create a line chat. I want to create a donut chat. I want to show in the form of map visual. Yes, we can create this type of visual. So we have different type of visuals in Power BI. So normally in Power BI, for other BI softwares, we have 50 visuals. We have 50 visuals, but coming to Power BI, in Power BI, we have 250 visuals. So we have 250 visuals. I mean, we have 250 different type of a charts, based on your business data. We can present the data in a different charts basically. Right? And it's also called as a data analytics software. So with the help of Power BI, we can easily analyze the data. So data analytics can write here with the help of any software. If we are able to analyze the data, we call as data analytics, right? So like here in with the help of Power BI, yes, we can perform the data analytics. Like here I have a visual. Like if I go with this visual, it's talking about the number of orders placed, um, the number of days it took to place the order. Like what we can see here now, my client want to understand how many days it is taking to place the order or delivering the order to the customer. So what we can see, four maximum of the orders are 4 to 5 days. So 4 to 5 days, taking 4 to 5 days to place the order. Maximum orders are placed 4 to 5, taking 4 to 5 days. Right. So what business can do? Why it is taking this much of days? Maybe we may have to deliver at least within 3 days of the order placed. So business can take a decision whether they can increase the delivery boys, or maybe they can hire some third party uh, delivery sources where they can deliver the product within 3 days. Right. So I mean this type of analysis with the 4 to 5 days and 0 to 3 days or 5 plus days, we some out of the orders they're also taking to deliver the order more than 5 days. So business can take a decision and try to reduce the delivery time. Right? So if you want to perform this type of analysis, yes, we can easily perform with the help of Power BI. And like as I initially mentioned, Power BI is a business intelligence. BI. So basically, BI is a process where we will convert the business data into actionable information. Business data into actionable information. So by creating this type of visuals, business can take the decision. Business can take the decisions. Fine. And as I mentioned initially, like Power BI is a collection of a tools or softwares. So what are the different type of a tools available in Power BI means? So this is Power BI architecture. So in Power BI, the first we have Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop. In Power BI desktop, basically we use Power BI desktop. It's a development software. It's a development software. So most of the time we spend only on Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop. It's a development software. So 80 to 90% of time, 90% of time we spent only on Power BI desktop. Right. So in Power BI desktop, we have three softwares: Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. So as I mentioned previously, we use Power BI to analyze the business data. So like I have a business data. So my business can store the data in Excel files or SQL Server or Oracle or any other software. right? So my business can store the data in different format. So what we are going to do, we are trying to bring the data. We are trying to bring the data with the help of, there is a software called Power Query. So when we install Power BI Desktop, we are going to get three softwares: Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. So in with the help of Power Query, we are trying to bring the data. We are trying to bring the data into Power BI Desktop, right? So why generally we use Power Query means Power Query is going to perform ETL operations. ETL is nothing but extract, transform, load. Extract, transform, load, right? So first software in Power BI Desktop, we have Power Query. Power Query is to perform ETL activities. Right here. Power Query. So Power Query is an ETL software. So E is nothing but E for extract, transform, load. So it's going to perform ETL operations, right? So we can bring the data, we can bring any type of data into Power BI Desktop with the help of Power Query, right? And we mentioned this a transform. What is meant by transform is, uh, so whenever we have a business data, it is not a cleaned data. So we need to clean the data first. So let's say, suppose example, I have a situation. I have two columns, first name in one column, last name in one column. So I want to combine first name and last name together. I want to create a new column called full name. I want to create a new column called full name. Okay. So then we can perform some transformation. We can perform some transformation and we can create this type of column, full name column, right? And similarly now, so when we load the data, when we load business data, it is not a clean data. So we will apply some transformation and we clean the data to get the required output, right? So we will perform some transformation. And then we have L for load. So load is nothing but once my data is cleaned, we are going to load the data. We are going to load the data into second software that is nothing but Power Pivot. So extract, getting the data from different data sources, and transform, cleaning the data, and L for load. We are loading the data into Power Pivot. And next software that we have is Power Pivot. So Power Pivot is basically, Power Pivot is a database, database where we will create an OLAP model. So what is meant by OLAP model? So let's say if I have three tables. First, I have table which contains only one column, employee ID. And second, I have one more table which contains employee ID and bonus. And again, I have one more table. So here I have employee ID and salary. Now I want to create a report where I want to show employee ID, bonus, salary. Okay, three things I want. So when we are trying to achieve, like here, we have bonus in one column, salary in, this is, I mean, bonus in one table, salary in one table. But I want to combine bonus, salary, even employee IDs to combine. I want to create an output, right? So in this case, we are going to perform modeling. Nothing but we are going to connect first table. Like here, what we are going to do, we will connect first table with second table. So because here also we have employee ID, here also we have employee ID. And again, we connect first table with third table. So employee ID and employee ID. So when we connect these tables, then we can bring employee ID, bonus, and say salary like this, right? Like this. So we can create a output. So that will be done in Power Pivot. So whenever, and if you wanted to implement some business logic, so then also we use Power Pivot. So we create some modeling. We create some modeling in Power Pivot. Right? And third software that we have is Power View. So in Power View, we are going to create the visuals. So if you want to create some line chart, if I want to create some donut chart, so everything will be done in Power View. Right? So Power View, Power View is used to create reports and visuals. To create reports and visuals, so we go for Power View. Right? Like I want to create line chart, I want to create donut chart, I want to create some map visual. So these visuals all are available in Power View. Power View are going to create visuals. Right? And once my report is ready, once my visuals are ready, once my report is ready, then we have to share. We have to share with our clients. So to share, we have two options. One is Power BI service. Second one is Power BI report server. Okay. So what is the difference between these two means? So once my report is ready, we have to publish. We have to publish in Power BI service. So Power BI service, Power BI service, it's a Azure cloud based server, right? Which is used for share reports or visuals with clients. So if you want to share a report with the clients, then we have to publish this report into a cloud based server. So Power BI service is a cloud based server. When I say cloud, we can access the report via internet, like this is a services, so we can use this link to access the report. Fine. So when we say cloud, who will maintain this cloud service means directly maintained by Microsoft. So we don't need to have any separate admin team within the company. We can directly maintained by Microsoft. So we can share this link. They can use browser to access the report. So this is nothing but it's my Power BI services. Right? So one thing is like we have Power BI service. So 98% of the clients, they are using Power BI service. And we also have one more option called report server. When I say server, it is available within the company. So who will maintain the server? Admin team will maintain the server. So from here, my client will access the report. Right? Second idea, Power BI report server. It's on-premise server, which is used for share reports or visuals with clients. So only 2% of clients still they are using Power BI server, right? And the fourth one that we have is Power BI mobile application. It's like if I wanted to see Power BI report in mobile phones, we need Power BI mobile application. It's a mobile app which is used for viewing, only for viewing the reports, like in mobile phones. If I want to read PDF document in my mobile phone, I need PDF reader. Similarly, if I want to read Power BI report in mobile phone, we need Power BI mobile application. So overall, uh, Power BI desktop, what we are going to do, we will try to bring the business data. So as I mentioned, we analyze the business data. So we'll try to bring the business data with the help of Power Query. Power Query is going to perform ETL operation, extract, transform, load. We are extracting the data, transforming the data, we're cleaning the data. Once my data is clean, we are going to load the data into Power Pivot. In Power Pivot, what we do in Power Pivot, we will create a data model. We create a data model, we implement the business logic. And once my logics are ready, we use Power View. Power View for creating the visuals. Once my reports are ready, then we publish. We publish into Power BI services. From here, client will access the report. Right. So, so in this course, like we are going to cover all these uh, 5 courses. So we will record all the videos. We will record class videos and we will share those videos, and we will also write everything in this notepad. So we will share notepad. Definitely we will discuss some interview questions and sample resume, and we will discuss one project. We will discuss a project basically for each session. I mean, as for each course we will discuss one project. Right. So this is all about this today's demo session. Any questions?
Hello, sir.